गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन, वेलकम टू द ऑफिशियल यूट्यूब चैनल ऑफ ऑफिसर्स अड्डा 24/7। मेरा नाम है अमन चौथ और वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस टुडे द फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल ऑफ प्रिंसिपल्स एंड प्रैक्टिसेस ऑफ बैंकिंग। सो आई विल बी योर न्यू mentor for principles and practices of banking. So today we are starting our English medium sessions on YouTube, in which we are going to practice the MCQs, we are going to practice the mock questions related to your all the modules of principles and practices of banking. So let's start from the first session, in which we are going to discuss the MCQs related to Reserve Bank of India and its role. So before starting this session, let me know, am I audible to all of you, and the PPT is also visible. Are we good to go? First of all, when we are starting the session today, first of all, those candidates who are not enrolled yet, who has not subscribed yet the channel of Officers Adda 24/7, and if you have not downloaded the Adda application, then do download the application and also subscribe the channel, so that all the sessions which are related to your English medium and Hindi medium sessions of YouTube related to your all subjects of JAIIB, you will get notified about the sessions as the sessions started. So let's start from the first question, which is related to आपका Reserve Bank of India and its roles. So let's start from the first question. I think everything is okay. So the first question which is related to our today's session is about Reserve Bank of India's function. So the question is, which of the following is true about the functions performed by Reserve Bank of India? As we know, RBI is the central bank of our country. RBI is the apex bank of our country. So here in the question we have asked that which of the following statement is true about the functions which is performed by Reserve Bank of India. So the first statement is saying it is the issuer of currency. It means RBI performs as a issuer of currency, one function. Second is saying it acts as the banker to the government of India. Third option is saying it is the banker of other banks. It means we are talking about commercial banks, RRB, payment bank, small finance bank. Next is it regulates the flow of credit. It means the flow of credit or credit availability in the market will be given by Reserve Bank of India. All these are the functions of Reserve Bank of India. So we have to tell that which of the following statement is true about the functions performed by Reserve Bank of India. Now what will be the answer of this question? Let me know. Is it A, both 1 and 2? Is it B, both 3 and 4? Is it C, all of the above? Or is it D, none of the above? So which of the following is the function of Reserve Bank of India here? So when we talk about the first option, it is saying it is the issuer of currency. It means RBI is the issuer of currency. As we know, under the RBI Act 1934, Section 22, RBI has given the right to print all the denomination of currency except rupee 1. So as we know, RBI performs a function as the issuer of currency. It means RBI prints the currency except rupee 1, because 1 rupee note is printed by our Ministry of Finance, by Government of India. The first option is very correct. It is the function of Reserve Bank of India that RBI prints currency note in our country under the Section 22 of RBI Act 1934. Now, if we talk about currency which is printed by Reserve Bank of India, it is right now printed by RBI with the system that is minimum reserve system. Under the minimum reserve system, Reserve Bank of India prints our currency. This system was launched in 1957, and till present we are using this system to print all the currencies related to RBI. It means 2 and above all currencies are printed by Reserve Bank of India in minimum reserve system, which started in 1957. Before this system, we used rational reserve system to print currency. Now we are using minimum reserve system. Now the first statement is very correct about RBI's function. Second statement is saying RBI acts as a banker to the government. It is very correct, because we know RBI works as an agent for Government of India. RBI provides loan to Government of India under bank rate and ways and means advances, WMA. So RBI provides loan to Government of India as per the requirement of Government of India. Whenever there is a mismatch between the revenue and expenses of Government of India, RBI provides loan on the bank rate or ways and means advances. Next thing, RBI performs as an agent of Government of India and also sells and buy the government securities in the market. So whenever Government of India trying to collect fund from the market, so RBI helps Government of India by selling and purchasing its security in the market. Now the government securities will be First, your treasury bills, your bonds, your dated government security, all these are the government securities which are sold or purchased by आपका Reserve Bank of India. So the second statement is also true about Reserve Bank of India's function. Now if we talk about the third statement, it is saying it is the banker of the other bank. It is also true. As we know, RBI is known as banker to the government of India and banker to the other banks also, because RBI provide license to the banks whenever a new bank is started in India. RBI provides the license to the bank. RBI decides under the Banking Regulation Act 1949 and RBI Act 1934 that what functions, what kind of banking services a bank can provide in the country. So it is also true that RBI known as the banker to the banks. Next, the fourth option is saying it regulates the flow of the credit. It is very true, because we know RBI controls or RBI manages the money supply in the market with the help of monetary policy. RBI controls, or we can say RBI manage the money supply in the economy with the help of monetary policy. Whenever RBI want to increase the credit in the market, RBI decrease this policy rates in the monetary policy. So RBI control and manage money supply with the help of monetary policy. So it means all the above statements are true regarding the functions of Reserve Bank of India. All are the functions of Reserve Bank of India, that RBI performs as the issuer of currency, RBI is the banker of Government of India, RBI is the banker of banks, and RBI regulates the flow in the market. Flow of money supply, flow of credit in the market. So the answer of the first question will be your C option, that is all of the above. Now let's move forward and talk about the second question, which is about the restrictions on Reserve Bank of India. Now the question is asking which of the following is true about the restrictions on RBI. So what kind of restrictions will be there on Reserve Bank of India? What kind of functions RBI can perform or cannot perform in the economy? So this question is based on that particular topic. So the first option is saying it is not compete with the commercial bank. It means RBI cannot compete with the other commercial banks. RBI cannot compete with the State Bank of India or RRBs or आपका small finance bank, payment banks. So first option is saying it is not compete with the commercial banks. Now what are the commercial banks whose main purpose is to earn profit and they provide all the banking and investment functions, commercial functions to the public. Okay? Now next is it is not allowed to pay interest on deposits. RBI is not allowed to pay interest on the deposit. As we know, RBI collects certain reserves from the banks to maintain the money supply in the economy, to make sure that the banks will not face any kind of risk in the future. That's why RBI takes some reserves from all the commercial banks and all the banks in India, on which RBI do not provide interest. Okay? So the option is saying it is not allowed to pay interest on its deposit. Third is saying it cannot engage directly or indirectly in trade. RBI cannot engage in any kind of trade in the economy. The next is saying it cannot acquire or advise loans against immovable property. RBI cannot acquire or advise any kind of loan against immovable property. It means we are talking about land. It means we are talking about our security, mortgage. So RBI cannot acquire or advise any kind of loan against the mortgage. Next is it is prohibited from purchasing its own shares or the share of any other bank or any company or granting loans on such security. So RBI cannot purchase the shares of its own and other banks and other entities, or also it cannot grant loan on such kind of security. It means RBI can't take any kind of securities of the shares and provide loan to the commercial or provide loan to the public in the market. So which of the following statements are true about the restrictions on Reserve Bank of India? Is Reserve Bank of India cannot provide any kind of these functions which are written in the option. So what can be the answer? Option A, where we are saying first, second, third and fourth all are true restrictions on Reserve Bank of India. Second is saying option fifth. It means only fifth option is the right answer. Only this is the restriction on Reserve Bank of India. See, we are saying all of the above are the true about the restrictions on Reserve Bank of India. And last we are saying none of the above. So which of the following will be the right answer? A, B, C or D? So the right answer to this question, to this second question will be your C, all of the above. All are the restrictions which is imposed on Reserve Bank of India, that RBI cannot perform all of these functions in the country. RBI cannot compete with the commercial bank. RBI cannot take deposits. RBI cannot pay interest on the deposits. then RBI cannot engage directly or indirectly on any kind of trade, then RBI cannot acquire or advise loan on the immovable property on the mortgage, and again RBI cannot purchase its own shares and the shares of other bank or other entities. So the right answer will be your C option, right? Now next third question is talking about the subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. As we know, there are 5 subsidiaries of Reserve Bank of India at present, and all are the subsidiaries are wholly owned subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. It means 100% capital invested on these subsidiaries was of Reserve Bank of India. Now the question is asking DICC insures principal and interest up to a maximum amount of what? 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh or 4 lakh. So what will be the answer? As we know, DICGC is the subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India. DICC provide insurance on public deposit to commercial banks and other banks also. So which of the following will be your right answer? Is it 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh or 4 lakh? Do one thing, whenever you are answering the questions, make sure that you will also mention the question number, that of which question you are giving the answer. Okay, also mention the question number with your answer. So the answer is, first of all, let's discuss something about आपका DICGC, then we will see what is the right answer. So first of all, DICC stands for Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation. It is a subsidiary of Reserve Bank of India which provides insurance on public deposit to banks. First of all, DICC provide insurance to all commercial banks, to all RRBs, to all cooperative banks. But when it comes to non-commercial bank, DICC do not cover non-commercial bank in its insurance, and also NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, are also not covered under DICC. So NBFCs and your non-commercial bank cannot take insurance under the DICC. Next thing, DICC was introduced by Reserve Bank of India in the year 1978. Initially, it started providing insurance of ₹1 lakh, but now it has increased. Now the right answer will be of 5 lakh, which was changed by Reserve Bank of India on February 2020. So on February 2020, RBI has changed the insurance amount or maximum insurance coverage under DICC. That is now 5 lakh. It was earlier 1 lakh. Now if we talk about what kinds of deposits will be covered under DICC, so all the deposits in which we are maintaining public deposit will be covered under DICC. But if there is a deposit related to state government, there is a deposit related to central government, if there is a deposit in a bank related to foreign government, all these 3 deposits will not be covered under the DICC, and all the deposit which related with the public deposit will be covered under DICC. It means CASA, RAFA, everything will be covered. Only the central government, the state government and foreign government's deposits will not be covered under the DICC. Okay, now let's move forward to the 4th question, and the 4th question is asking about that which of the following cannot be included in the definition of financial intermediary. So which of the following is not performing in the economy as the financial mediator? Is it banks and NBFCs? Is it financial institution? Is it mutual funds? Or is it companies which are engaged in the manufacturing of goods? So which of the following will be your right answer? A, B, C or D? So whenever we are talking about financial intermediaries, it means those mediators, those institutions who are helping us to exchanging the flow of funds. So which of the following are not performing as the financial intermediary in the economy? A, B, C or D? What will be the right answer? Yes, everyone is saying 5 lakh. The answer of third question was correct. It was 5 lakh. Initially it was 1 lakh. It was changed in the 2020. Now let me know what will be the answer. If you do not know the answer of any question, you can simply write that we do not know, so that we will discuss the question and we will move forward. It will not waste our time, right? Kedar is saying D, Prajakta is saying D, Ramesh is also saying D. Okay, very good. It's a very simple question. We can see that all the companies which are engaged in the manufacturing of goods are not called the financial intermediaries. So right answer will be your D. Companies which are engaged in the manufacturing of goods will not be covered as the financial intermediaries. Acha, if we are talking about the banks and non-banking financial company, what is the difference between banks and non-banking financial companies? Let me know. What is the difference between banks and NBFCs? It's a very common question. It was asked many times that what is the difference between banks and NBFCs. So what is the difference? If you know, then let me know. And one important thing, all the candidates who are live right now, do like this session and share with your colleagues and friends so that they will also get the benefit from these sessions. So first of all, do like this session, all the candidates who are live right now, and let me know what is the difference between bank and NBFC. And as I said, if you do not know any answer, then let me know so that we will continue our session. So the right answer will be D of fourth question. Now, what is the difference between bank and NBFC? See, first of all the banks are formed under the Banking Regulation Act 1949 and all the NBFCs registered under Companies Act. So non-banking financial companies are registered under the Companies Act 2013, and if they want to work as a non-banking financial institution in country, they have to register with Reserve Bank of India also. But when we are establishing NBFCs, it comes under the Companies Act 2013. The next thing, banks can participate in the payment settlement system, but NBFC cannot participate in the payment and settlement system, right? If we talk about next, banks have to maintain the reserves which are decided by RBI, that is CRR and SLRs, and NBFC do not have to maintain these kinds of reserves. Next thing, very good Kedar, NBFC cannot accept the demand deposit from the public, but banks can accept both demand and term deposits, right? Now, NBFC cannot provide check system or online trading or any FT, any kind of payment related transactions, but banks can perform these transactions. Okay, so this is the basic difference between your banks and NBFC. Now, let's move forward to the fifth question, which is again related to the functions of Central Banking Authority, that is Reserve Bank of India. So, which of the following function is not the function coming under the functions of Central Banking Authority? So, which of these is not a function of Reserve Bank of India? The question is asking simply that which of the following option is not correct about the functions of Reserve Bank of India. So, the first option is saying supervision of NBFCs. Second is saying supervision over the financial institutional investor. Third is saying management of payment system. Fourth is saying regulating the money market. So, which of the following is not the function of Reserve Bank of India? Is it A, B, C or D? Whenever we are talking about Central Banking Authority, if we talk about Central Monetary Authority, it means we are talking about Reserve Bank of India, the apex bank of our country, right? So, what will be the answer of fifth question? Debashish is saying B, okay. What about rest? Again, a very simple question related to the functions of Reserve Bank of India. See, first, supervision over NBFC, I have just told you that RBI, if any institution want to work as a non-banking financial institution in our country, as of NBFCs are performing as a NBFI in our country. So any kind of institution which wants to perform as a non-banking financial institution in our country, they have to make sure that they are following the norms of the Reserve Bank of India. It means it is very true, NBFCs works under the Reserve Bank of India. So all the supervisions of NBFCs done by Reserve Bank of India. So first statement, first option is very true. Second is saying supervision over the foreign institutional investors. Now, when we are talking about FII, foreign institutional investment, what does FII stands for? It is foreign institutional investment. Now, when we are talking about FII includes all the persons who are investing in our country from abroad. So, whenever a foreign company invests in Indian company with up to 10% of the authorized capital, it will be known as foreign institutional investment. Now, those persons who are investing in the foreign institutional investments are known as foreign institutional investor. Now, they are investing in our authorized capital with up to 10% of investments. Now, obviously, if we are talking about the share investment, if we are talking about the investment in percentage of authorized capital, this will be supervised by SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, which is our regulator of investment market. So SEBI is the regulator of investment market, and SEBI supervise the foreign institutional investors, or we can say foreign institutional investments, right? So the B option will not be the function of Reserve Bank of India. Next, what is management of payment system? So under the Payment and Settlement System Act, it has decided, or it has given, that the Reserve Bank of India has the authority to decide that how the payment system of our country will work and who can participate in the payment system of our country. So as per the Payment Settlement System Act 2007, all the rights related to the payment system in our country given to the Reserve Bank of India, and without RBI's permission, without RBI's license, no other institution can perform under the payment system of our country, right? So C option is also correct, and fourth is saying regulating the money market, also a correct option. Because when we are talking about money market is a short-term market in which the short-term financial assets are exchanged or transacted, which are close substitute of money, which is regulated by Reserve Bank of India. There are two types of financial market in our country. First is money market, second is your capital market. Capital market is regulated by SEBI and the money market is regulated by Reserve Bank of India. The right option will be your B, because it is not the function of Central Banking Authority of our country. It is not the function of Reserve Bank of India. It is the function of SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India, right? Now let's move forward to the sixth question, that is the Indian banking system is regulated in terms of the provisions of which of the following act? So the question is asking that which of the following act helps banking system to work in our country? Is it Negotiable Act, Negotiable Instrument Act? It should be your Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Second is your Banking Regulation Act 1949. Third is your RBI Act 1934, and D is both B and C. Yes, very good Devashish. Money market regulated by RBI and capital market is regulated by SEBI. Right. Now what will be the answer of sixth question? So under which of the following act or under which of the following acts provisions Indian banking system works? Devashish is saying D, Kedar is saying D, Gayatri is saying B, Prajakta is saying D, Divya and Nidhi are also saying D. Very good. So the right answer will be your B and C both. Under the Banking Regulation Act 1949 Section 5B, RBI has defined, or this act has defined, what kind of banking services a bank can provide. And under the RBI Act, the certain regulations related to CR are also mentioned under the Section 42(1). So it means our Indian banks works under the provisions of both the Act, Banking Regulation Act and RBI Act 1934. Now what is negotiable instrument? Negotiable instruments are those instruments which are which can be used as the payment instrument in which we can transfer the payment from one person to another. So negotiable instrument means simply the transferable instrument whose acts was come in the 1881. Now next question is, the dash is vested with the responsibility of conducting monetary policy. So which of the following regulatory bodies can conduct the monetary policy in our country? Now what will be the answer of the seventh question? Yes, very good. The holidays of bank will be defined under Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. NI Act defines the holidays of bank. Bills of exchange, promissory note and check is the three negotiable instrument which is defined under section 4, 5 and 6. Very good. Now what will be the answer of seventh question? Gayatri, do check the question again. It is a very simple question. So which of the following regulatory body has the responsibility to conducting the monetary policy? Now what is monetary policy? First of all, monetary policy is the macroeconomic policy which is formulated by and which is implemented by Reserve Bank of India in our country. And under the monetary policy, RBI has two objectives. First is to maintain the price stability in the economy, and also to make sure, one second, RBI has two objectives behind making monetary policy in the country. First is to make the price stability in the economy and also to ensure the economic stability in the country. So the main objective of preparing monetary policy by Reserve Bank of India are two. First is to maintain the price stability in the economy, and second to maintain the economic stability in the country. That we do not have to compromise with our economic stability while we are maintaining our prices in the economy. Next thing is monetary policies reviews will be provided on bi-monthly basis. As we know, our 23rd Governor of Reserve Bank of India was Mr. Raghuram Rajan. So initially we used to provide quarterly review of monetary policy, but in 2013 Dr. Raghuram Rajan has changed this quarterly review of monetary policy to the bi-monthly review of monetary policy. Now the monetary policy is prepared by Reserve Bank of India, formulated by Reserve Bank of India, and also next year implemented by Reserve Bank of India. So the right answer for the 7th question is your A, that is RBI. Now next question. The RBI, which acts as the banker to the central government, was nationalized in which of the following year? So as we know, Reserve Bank of India was introduced, or Reserve Bank of India was established on 1st April 1935. But when RBI was established, it was the private shareholders bank, because we needed the capital to start Reserve Bank of India. That is, initial capital of RBI is 5 crores. So we needed the 5 crore capital to start Reserve Bank of India, to establish Reserve Bank of India, and this capital was given by the individual persons. That's why RBI initially was known as private shareholders bank. But right now RBI is not a private shareholder bank. RBI is the Bank of Government of India, because Government of India has done the nationalization of Reserve Bank of India. Now in which year the nationalization of RBI has been done? 8th is C, Ramesh is saying, Debashish is saying 8th is B, and Gayatri is saying B, Kedar is saying 35. Okay. First of all, RBI was established on 1st April 1935. At that time, RBI was private shareholders bank. Now, on 1st January 1949, RBI was nationalized. What was the date of nationalization? It was 1st January. So, on 1st January 1949, RBI was nationalized. Okay. In 1934, it was established. In 1935, RBI was established. In 1934, RBI Act came into the effect, and in 1949, RBI was nationalized. Now, what is nationalization? Whenever the Government of India purchases 51% or more than 51% shares of any private entity, will be known as nationalization. It means government is creating its own ownership on the certain bank or on the certain private entity by purchasing its 51 and more than 51% shares. So the right answer will be 1949. Make sure you remember this question. First of all, in 1934, RBI Act was introduced. In 1935, RBI was established, and in 1949, RBI was nationalized. Okay. In 1934, we have introduced the Act, RBI Act 1934. 1st April 1935, RBI was established. Okay, Debashish? Establishment year is 35. Act came into effect on 1934, and nationalization was done in 1949. Don't confuse with the years. Now, next question is, at which of the following places is the RBI printing press situated? As we have discussed in the first question, that RBI Act 1934 section 22 gives the right to the RBI to print all the denominations except rupee 1. So RBI can print all the denominations in our currencies under the RBI Act 1934 section 22, but cannot print the currency of rupee 1 because it is printed by Government of India, Ministry of Finance. So where are the 4 printing press of Reserve Bank of India situated? Or in the options, which is the right option which is related to the printing press of RBI? So there are 4 printing press, right? There are 4 press where we are printing our currency. Which of the following is the printing press? And also give the other 3 names of the printing press. Gayatri is saying Mumbai, Prajakta is saying Nasik, Debashish is also saying Nasik. Okay. What are the rest 3 presses in India? So first of all, the right answer will be on Nasik. There are 4 printing press in our country, which is in Devas, Nasik, Mysore and Salboni. So there are 4 printing press. First is in Devas, second is in Nasik, third is in Mysore, and fourth is your Salboni. When it comes to mint, there are also 4 mints in our country. There are 4 mints in our country where we are producing our coins. In mint, we produce our coins, and in press, we print our currency notes. So there are 4 press and there are 4 mints in the country. When it comes to mint, there are 4 mints which is in Mumbai, Hyderabad, Noida and Kolkata. These are the 4 mints in our country, right? So the right answer of the 9th question will be your B. Now the next question is, which of the following regulatory body is known as LOLR? Now first of all, let me know what is the full form of LOLR and which of the following regulatory bodies is known as LOLR. Let me know. Is it RBI, Reserve Bank of India? Is it SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India? Is it IRDA, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India? Or is it PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory Development Authority? So what will be the right answer? To answer this question, first you have to know what is the full form of LOLR. If you do not know what does LOLR means, you can't give the right answer. So first focus on what is the LOLR stands for. Arul is saying B, Devashish is saying A, Prajakta is saying A. Very good. So the full form of LOLR stands for lender of last resort. Lender of last resort. And this is one of the function of Reserve Bank of India. So whenever commercial banks requires the fund, whenever commercial bank needs the capital, so they go to the Reserve Bank of India and RBI performs, or RBI work as a lender of last resort for all the commercial bank whenever they need the funds. The right answer will be RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Okay, so LOLR stands for lender of last resort. This means whenever commercial banks required capital to work or to continue their banking functions, they can opt at the last resort, at the last option to the Reserve Bank of India, and it is guaranteed if commercial bank went to the Reserve Bank of India, it will get its funds. Okay, so the right answer will be RBI. Now let me know, out of 10 questions, how much you have done correct. How much questions you have done correctly, let me know. So this is the first session of our English Principles and Practices of Banking, Module A, in which we have discussed the questions, we have discussed the MCQs which are related to Reserve Bank of India and its roles and its functions. So these are the certain examples which we can see in the exam of the questions, right? So let me know how much you have done correct from the out of 10 questions. Prajakta got 10 out of 10, very good. Kedar got 8. So from now onwards, from today onwards, we will meet every day on 7:30 AM on Officers Adda 24/7. If you are new to the channel, to make sure you subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you will get the notification whenever our sessions will be coming. And one important thing is, your new batch of English medium is started, in which all the subject PPB, AFB and LRB will be explained in the English medium, because we have know there are certain students who are facing problem in the bilingual batches. That's why we are starting our new batch on English in English medium, which is starting from 16th of April, in which our sessions related to PPB will start from the 18th of April. So this batch timing will be 7:30 AM to 10:30 PM. It means early morning and late evening batches will be there. So to enroll in this particular batch, what you have to do, you have to go to the Adda 24/7 application and you can go to the JAIIB CIIB section. From there you can enroll in this particular batch, and for the enrollment, what you can do to take the discount on this particular batch, you can use a certain code, that is Y343. You can use this code to get 77% discount, and if you buy this particular course from Adda 24/7 application, you will get additional 1% discount. It means you will get 78% discount total if you purchase with the code, that is Y343. Okay, so thank you all for joining this session. Again, kal milte hain. We will meet tomorrow again in the morning 7:30 AM. So let's meet tomorrow again, and make sure whenever we are practicing the questions, make sure that you will understand all the concepts related to the questions also, not only focus on the what is the answer A, B, C or D. Make sure the discussion is very important, because we know conceptual understanding is required to qualify this exam. So whenever we are practicing, we will have the same pattern in which we will discuss the question first and then we will explain the question, and at the end you have to tell me that how much you have done correctly from the 10 questions. Now you know about this news already, as we have partnered with Macmillan Publishers. So in any kinds of book, if you want to purchase any kind of book of Macmillan, or if you want to purchase any kind of course related to your JAIB and CAIB, you can use a code that is Y343. Okay, so thank you all for joining today's session and stay safe.